To Hany Helal and Fouad Khalaf for the topic of future perspectives, and then Jacques Kemp will make a few remarks from the point of view of the agency, and then I will make a few concluding and thank you remarks. Okay?
Okay, thank you, Arthur. Thank you all. I think we approach the final step of our workshop, and we really thank our colleagues from different countries and the presentation experts as well to set the stage and to give the background of a very complicated process and procedures, different understanding in different countries, how we deal with different degrees and the programs. It is clear that it is a very diversified field, and what we have observed is that whatever is the black box of the procedure itself, finally countries are operating with some procedures. There is a regulation there. Every country, each country has a regulation, has a committee, etc. But let me maybe make some comments and give the floor to Fouad to explore what can be done in the future and agree on a minimum of understanding. First, that our task of this workshop is that we would like to make life easy for students. I think for students and the graduates as well. It means that we don't want to give them a false or a fake degree or a piece of paper, but at the same time, don't, when I was talking with one of my colleagues during coffee break, I told him this issue was close to my heart because I feel that if we don't understand good what he has done in this university, in this program, we may prevent him from continuing his life. This is a decision that concerns the future of someone, of a human being in our countries or in the region or everywhere. And I think this could be kept in mind, not only people are here, but especially, this is my personal experience, is the mindset of the experts within the equivalence committee. Yes, we have rules and regulations, and we have discussed in details of some of these regulations, but however, we have rules and regulation, and whenever we have a case that rules and the regulation should apply blindly, one of the experts can say, listen, I know very well this case and it cannot work like this. This is the case exactly everywhere. It's not only in one country or another. And let us agree first that we would like to have good regulations, good procedures, but our main objective is to make life easy, correct for our graduates, either to go to the university for degrees, whatever, or go to the market for jobs, either regulated or non-regulated. The second observation is that we need to work together. Yes, we have other things to do on something that maybe we should agree or disagree, is that we should go far from establishing a list of universities and the programs to agree on a procedure that you can apply, I can apply with the minimum requirement, with understanding that this will facilitate life. Within your regulation, we don't want to interfere in any regulation in any country, either in Europe or in anywhere, but we need to agree on an understanding what is ILO's framework, how can we value the experience of people working in the market and they can come back to the university, etc. Something that, a procedure, understanding that could be done in the future. Maybe I give the floor to Fouad to explore, and I'll take back the conclusion.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hany and Chairman. I think our 2 days just came to an end almost. And in an hour, couple of hours, we will enjoy lunch. But I take the last word that Dr. Hany mentioned. We have to make life easy for students, but we have to do our homework to prepare for that. We will need to work together. The beauty of these 2 days that we were together. We would like to sustain this. Being far, each one in his country, we want also to work together because I think technology would allow us. I would like just to recall you to the presentation we made yesterday morning. This is the translation of our expectation of this meeting. Yesterday we had a discussion in which we did not agree on certain terminology. That's why I crossed all of this. I kept the essence, but I changed maybe the first word. Okay, I made it this way. Instead of agree, let us collect, define, maybe adopt, or each one of us adopt something that may suit him. The basic terminology is very important because if we go further into the process without defining terminology, we will discover that we wasted some of our time. The plan is sustainable. The 7 items here, they group more or less the component, the systemic component. We would like to build on it in order to reach equivalence. We managed today and yesterday to have some names. The first will be led by, as a topic, by Morocco in the name of Muhammad Boubak. You will be the leader. Just I'll mention, when I mention the name of the NTO, okay? We would like to have 2 names or 2 countries participating in each item. So in Egypt, I will be with you. But I think I made a mistake. Mr. Mohammed Giddu of Morocco, he will share with me the first one. The Plan of Sustainable Network, Dr. Salhin from Egypt, and we agreed that I have to stop this one. Okay, we agreed that each country may figure once or maximum twice. We would like here another name with Dr. Salhin. Initiate ways to disseminate common practices. Lebanon, Mr. Pierre Gideon.
I think we need to have different subnetworks for
Okay. This end the discussion. I mean, later after that, we will open discussion for it for changing. Develop indicators for follow-up. We don't have candidates for it. I mean, this. Okay. So we don't have so far candidates. Maybe one from Egypt. Propose a broad methodology for equivalence. Syria. And I think Dr. Yasser Shaib will share with him. Design a checklist, contents of the file or equivalency. Jordan, we have both of the two of you. Maybe we need another country with them. Use current resources to initiate a database for equivalence. Morocco, again. I think you will use MERIC or something like this. Okay. Maybe not all of the topics we discussed figures here among the 7. I think the DS, the diploma supplement, was mentioned twice today. One by Morocco and the other Boubakr, and the second one Jamal. Maybe should we add this as an assignment? or we leave it later on. I leave this to the decision in the discussion. Okay, our expectation now, we change this into actions, and we sought some volunteers. We need to complete the list. Okay. I clarify the approach because yesterday there was some misunderstanding about the approach. The approach regards the 7 initiatives with the background it is for equivalence, not for something else. Let us concentrate and emphasize equivalence. Okay, maybe before inventing the wheel, we need to go and check the available data. We need to build a database, but we have several databases, so maybe we may profit of the presence of these databases by inserting a sub-database about equivalent. We need to survey what is new in all the 7 items. We need maybe to categorize these, and maybe we need to put some changes. But doing the work, we need to have a quality work. We need in between some feedback process. We need to know the progress of the work. Maybe we need to meet another time, not probably all of the countries, but maybe those who are working on the same topic in order to have a quality product at the end of each one of the 7 items. Still the question of time. These are actions, objectives. We need to specify the time so far. Some of these may take 3 months maximum. Some of this may take a year. So we need to know this. We cannot decide the time until the groups start working. Maybe a month from now, each team should advise us of a preliminary deadline for the work. Okay? I finished my presentation on this, but we need certain, maybe raise certain questions now. Do you agree with this approach? Do you want to change something? Can we set some time values for this? Is the process clear? Or we may accept it now and later on maybe we can improve it. Okay. Maybe we need more volunteers.
One remark here.
It's loud, I think it's all right. You might, I don't know if my suggestion is valid or not, but you might want to need another initiative or action plan, which is something for sustainability or follow-up. I mean, all what you put is we need this, but how do you make sure if you agree on such a thing that it is implemented? You need such a thing. Maybe we should rephrase such an initiative or action plan. Thanks.
I heard the word follow-up. It's a task number 4 for the team who's going to run behind us, push us, ask us, where are you?
No, yeah.
Some of us are officials, yes, but others are experts, and experts has no official authority to implement what we have agreed. For example, if you are convinced, for example, that one-to-one equivalence is not, this is an old method, and we should go to another method framework or whatever it is. And you are convinced, but you are not an official to implement what we would do. I think this is the case also for Egypt, is that we will prepare a report, and the NGO, who is present with us here, will be in charge to the minister. He is the link between the here group and the official status in the country, whatever is the minister or vice minister or whatever.
Yeah.
I think this is a valid question.
Yeah.
But I would like to bring to your attention that we don't want to force any terminology or any regulation in countries. If you are not convinced, if you are not able to convince, not yourself, the experts within your group, the champions of this task is the expert. Because he is the one, when you give him the case, he will say, okay, let me, 10% humanities, he took English, but the other one took French, it's okay, it doesn't matter. But if he is not an open-minded, as has been said by one of my colleagues this morning, you know, he will say no. The Jordanians took English, he has to take English. This is something that we need to work on. You, as a director of the center or with your connection, we need to work on the mindset of experts. They are the key after the official approving the procedure itself, is to go and convince the experts. It takes time. It's a very tedious task, but we have to go through. We can take 1 year, we can take 10 years, but we have to do it.
Well, let me.
Okay?
Sorry, if the chair allows me, another 2 suggestions maybe. You know, it might be a good idea when these teams are working that it shouldn't be taken into consideration that these are rigid. I mean, there should be always window for, you know, updating or you know, it's not like a Quran or Bible. A third suggestion, if you also try to make these terminologies as minimum as possible, because people really, I mean, will get bored of so many terminologies. We could see one of the terminology, Merck or Merck, so many people were debating. So to make it right to the point, I guess when you comes to the terminologies, maybe it should be as minimum as possible. Thank you.
Let me emphasize something. Let us agree on that we are change agents. Change agents has no authority, but we have power. What's our power? The quality of our work. If the quality of our work is acceptable by those who have authority, this is the first step in getting the approval. This is my opinion. We, in the terminology, we are not to force anything. What will be our work? I've seen our work, and Mr. Geddu, also Hiddu, that we collect terminology for equivalence. We have seen several definitions. Our role is a facilitating role. We give you these definitions. You adopt whatever suits your own situation. The definition may be not the same, but they have common things. We will not progress at the same pace at the same time. Some will be lagging, some will be in the front. But let us start. This is my
Let me also maybe add something. Please don't stop on terminology, because we are not here to produce a dictionary or a glossary. No. But let us maybe agree on an understanding of a process that would lead to a student to be admitted or to be allowed to work somewhere, you know. Make life easy for the others.
I'm sorry. First of all, thanks a lot for this. And after the dinner last night, I have no more energy to talk. But I will have something to say about it. Can we go to the seven points, please? I agree. Let's say with
the second one. Yes.
Yeah, I agree with most of them. But as we say this, as we have seen this morning, we have a very diverse. We have diverse systems between Jordan, Morocco, Lebanon, Palestine. These are different systems, really different. So, and here we have point number 5: propose a broad methodology for equivalence. I mean, what are the objectives of the process? It should respond to some needs, as Dr. Hany has said. For my understanding, these 2 days, the needs are some information, common information about all the system. The decision will always remain national.
Yes.
It's the role of national authority to give recognition or equivalence. So we need at the regional level some information, some common information to put to be easily accessible, to be put on. We need also some exchange of good practices. So I do agree that this should be led also by Egypt, I think.
No.
But yeah, this is my opinion. But I want to say something more. If we can do it a little bit in a 4-step way, if you allow me to propose this, first step, do a survey. What exists? We have seen today few presentations, but these are just like pictures. We need the state of play. We do have a state of play for the region by the agency in terms of the usage of the implementation of learning outcomes, ECTS, etc. We do have this. So we have a good picture, I think, about the region in this sites, what is being implemented. But we need more specifically about equivalence, what is going on in each country. So we need a team that does this survey to start with, because we need to understand what's going on today to move forward, to move one step forward. 1. 2, if you allow me, then try. I have put it here. I'm sorry. This is last night issue. So, pardon. I don't remember. Okay, 2, I don't remember what it is. 3, I wanted to reactivate MERIC. So instead of reinventing, reactivate MERIC and have a well-studied IT platform that permit an easy access to this. So this is my proposal.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me maybe you have a valid point. Let us when we say propose a broad methodology, I think what we mean, as Fouad, maybe Dr. Fouad, you can bring the second slide, the methodology. Yes, here, if you look here, please, Mohammed. If you look here, this is what you have requested. You know, this is the methodology. This is the methodology of anything. Is that you will check, you will gather information about what is available. You will make the survey, and you will collect everything. You will study it in group, and you will try to gather a minimum of a methodology or minimum requirement for a methodology that you would accept, Peter can accept, Tim can accept, the agency can accept. The difficulty I live with the equivalence is that sometimes we think that we in Egypt, for example, our expert thought that we are the only country in the world working for this. Everyone, when the student or an institution coming knocking the door, we are the only one that would give equivalence to him or to her. This is not the case. We are one part of a huge community that I like very much now the word permeability, that we would like to have everything permeable, open to the others. This is something that we need to transfer to the experts. It's not you, the experts who regard and consider the papers submitted. We should work on their mindset. Okay. Now, on a methodology, instead of saying develop a methodology, we can say exchange experience on methodologies until we have. But someday, one day would come, and I see the future is that another group like European Commission or European community, or the higher education area that would maybe Asian, the Asian now is considering a higher education Asian area there, and they will have the system, and if you are not well advanced in your methodology, you have to accept it, otherwise you will be disconnected. We should not be disconnected in this region.
Okay. Let me clarify something. This is not an approach for equivalence. I consider this is a systemic approach, total quality. I rectified some of my slides based on Volker's continuous improvement. We will avoid by continuous improvement to do the same error twice. And instead, that's why I integrated continuous improvement. I consider this is one shot representing us now on the 23rd, 2011. We'll take another shot 1 year from now. Maybe we advance and we work into the progress meeting, product and so on. We reach a final product. We don't stop here. We need to change it because we are in a dynamic, complex situation, and in a dynamic, complex situation, linear thinking does not work. What we need is systemic, total quality, based on continuous improvement in order to not to commit the same error twice. This is the maximum of a total quality. That's why I'm proposing this approach.
Maybe I can add one issue, and we will move to another one. We have the experts with us. We have Tim, we have Volker, we have Arthur, we have... would you like to participate in these groups? Tom, Volker, Arthur, would you like that? You would like, for example, to join the group of methodology or the group of... you should participate with us. You are present.
Maybe he can be the consultant. We refer to him for any qualification. He's not limited to one of the six. We refer to him in any problem and ask his opinion, especially when we have difference, not divergence, difference of opinion.
Second point is that from the practical point of view, we know that it's very difficult on a topic to have the 7, 6, or 8 members of countries participating. Let us be frank and practical, pragmatic. If two countries or two NTOs agrees together to work on this subject, let them 2 or 3 work together and transfer what they have done to the others and get feedback. Because if we were waiting that my colleague from Egypt didn't reply, I wait for him. No, I'll agree with Syria, I'll agree with Palestine, with Israel, that we will work on this subject. We will continue working. We develop quickly and we transfer to the others. Okay? I think there. Yeah. Yes. Mike here, please.
Alors voilà, ça va être un très bon travail.
It's going to be very good work, but I have a proposal. If we can associate the Council of Europe and UNESCO, because we have to capitalize on our experience. They have done a very good work, and we will make time and take advantage, make the most out of their experience. Because you are the expert in this domain, can you contact somebody at the UNESCO and the Council of Europe, so that they may appoint somebody who will be in our circle. I would like to add, before we go to the UNESCO, we should carry out our task. We cannot go and see the UNESCO with no idea of... we must prepare something and tell them this is our problem, our issue, and can you advise us? But they've already done something on the matter, and so they have knowledge. No. you can schedule a meeting with the Council of Europe and see what they have, so that we do not have to do it again, and then we can progress together. So you have the initiative, go forward, please go ahead, and they already know what we're doing. So, you have the mic? Well, you are the only person here in this room that knows Merrick very well. Yeah, I think so. You know Merrick perfectly well. So, our objective is to create another network, knowing that there's one, but then this one should be activated. So please activate the network. We support you with, well, all of us support you, and I don't know, in maybe in 6 months or 7 months, Jacques can come and say, yes, Merrick. Merrick is our network. It's an active network. It's a European network. It was launched by the Council of Europe and the UNESCO jointly. But we hear about Merrick all the time at the Commission in Brussels. But we have to be able to talk about Merrick in our countries. That is because that is important for us. Europe has built this network, fine, but we, in our countries, we should be able to be active with this network. Okay? Fine. There is another comment, please, and then we can progress, because I must give the floor to Jacques. We still have some time.
Bon, en effet, mon intervention peut-être fait reprendre les idées de base.
I'm going to take up the basic ideas of our seminar. If I've understood well, the equivalences we're talking about are the state equivalences. If such equivalences are centralized. Well, we are not talking now about the recognition of a degree by the university. It's another issue which is much more complex, because in our systems of higher education in the different countries, the private sector has not been developed in the same fashion. There are national degrees, and sometimes there are degrees which must be recognized in the same country by the same state. So let's have a target objective, the equivalence of degrees, that is somebody who has a foreign degree. How can we recognize this degree to give an equivalence so that the student may be able to be on the market or can continue his or her studies without knowing whether this university can admit the student or not, or must or request a complement. So this is what we have to do, where we have to take actions, because to act at the level of university is different. It's another issue. At least in Lebanon, we have a higher education system which is totally independent, so we cannot take action to constrain the universities to recognize a degree and to consider that there are learning outcomes for a student who can progress towards postgraduate studies. Yes, this is very valuable. We have to ask the question to the task group that is going to debate about this point. I cannot answer, but I know the answer. Well, but we have to understand this. These degrees you have mentioned, what are they about? We're talking about the equivalence a basic equivalence,
officielle de
official
l'État,
equivalence of the state,
sachant que, par exemple, en
knowing
France,
that in France,
l'équivalence ou la reconnaissance d'un
the
diplôme ne
equivalence
se
of
fait pas au
recognition
niveau
of a
centralisé.
degree is not done in a centralized
L'étudiant
manner.
dépose une
A
candidature à
student
l'université, il est
applies
accepté
for
ou non.
university and is
Donc, c'est pas
accepted
le
or
cas
not. So
ailleurs. Moi, à
it's
mon
not the
avis,
case elsewhere, maybe.
précisons de
So
quelle
I
équivalence
think we
on
have to
souhaite exactement
define
débattre.
about which equivalence we want to
Il
debate.
me
Which
semble que
equivalence
c'est
we're talking
l'équivalence
about.
plutôt officielle d'un
I
diplôme.
think it's much
Si
more
c'est le
the
cas,
official
moi, je pense qu'il faut
equivalence
partir
of a
sur
degree.
sur
Therefore,
trois
we
points.
have to deal with
Collecter les
3
informations,
points, 3
les
tasks: to
pratiques
collect
dans
the
les différents
information, to
pays,
see the
donc c'est
practices in
un
the
certain
different
travail
countries,
un
and
peu
it's
bibliographique, une sorte de
sort of bibliographic work,
puis analyser
and then
et
analyze
surtout construire
and
une
build
plateforme informatique
a computer-based
utiliser une
platform
plateforme qui
in
est
order,
déjà
or use a
existante.
platform which
Donc,
exists.
3 points.
So
Et,
3
à mon
actions,
avis, c'est l'équivalence
and I
officielle
think
qu'il
it's
faut
the
traiter en ce
official
moment-là.
equivalence we should deal with now. I give you the floor once more. I'm sorry, but, well, I'm not going to answer your question, but it's it's an issue we should add according to the case. I can mention different cases because I know this matter very well, but this is the task of our colleagues who will work on this matter, whether we deal about official equivalences only or more. You have different typical cases. This is to be debated. Last issue, and I give you the floor.
I think we have to
Et je pense
agree that we will use the platform, the IT platform that exists already. There is the Bologna Expert platform, and I think it is an advantage to use the platform because we can add experts from other countries that they may be interested in our work. And what we are doing is not a secret of the states. You know, it's something that is available, it's public, and maybe we can charge one of our colleagues. Yasser is he likes very much working with IT. He can create a group, a subgroup within Bologna experts and here experts, and that would work together and open the floor to others to join. Okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for your cooperation.
Okay, thank you. Now, Jacques, the floor goes to you.
Thank you.